everybody, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are getting ready to kick off the Dash for Cash race number 2 here for the late model stock division inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series. Live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, we are at the South Boston Speedway, located here in South Boston, Virginia. Getting ready to tackle on this 0.40 length asphalt oval. The drivers are currently locked into the qualifying session right now, turning their laps. The Fast 5 drivers will head on over into the main event portion part of the night. We'll get you down here on the main broadcast. Ken, welcome in here to the I-85 Asphalt Series Dash for Cash race number 2, live here at the South Boston Speedway. Getting ready to be an epic day of racing. 2 weeks ago, Chase Johnson kicked off the season at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Chase Johnson pick up the victory as well. The three-time champion continues to climb up the standings here. Something different going on this year with the Dash for Cash point system paying out here. Welcome in, everybody, as we got you guys here on our schedule. Go ahead and pull up those point standings from 2 weeks ago as you continue to watch us every single week, loading in. Every single week, we will try to begin our broadcast with the point standings. Chase Johnson picked up the win 2 weeks ago. The heat race win went to Dakota Pignataro and one other driver that must have been below the top 12 drivers. The top 10 drivers on your screen are scheduled to be paid out into the paid entry purse pay that will be paid out 10 races from now. I want to also go ahead and remind you folks, 2 weeks ago, that I made a mistake and I said that there would be a $200 payout to the first place winner of the series, and that was all wrong, and by mistake. That is my apologies. However, the purse now is almost exceeding $250 inside of the late model stock division. That will be split among the top 10 drivers in points, with the first place driver being the most paid out. So we'll get you back down here on the main broadcast cam. Looks like we still got a couple more drivers looking to try to do their work down here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and as guys continue to do that, it looks like we got about 2 minutes or so left into tonight's qualifying session, and we'll give it just a couple more minutes here from the admin to talk over with the drivers. It'll give us the perfect time to go ahead and bring up the remaining schedule here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for you drivers here tonight. The North Wilkesboro Speedway was an awesome action-packed race. You can go check that out on the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen. Or you head over to the South Boston Speedway where we're out here tonight. You can find the race later posted there if you cannot stay throughout the entire stream here tonight. Or you can check us out 2 weeks from now when we head on over to the Fly Flag Speedway at the Snowball Derby. It's going to be one hell of a show. However, though, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get you down here on the main broadcast cam where it looks like qualifying is getting ready to be wrapped up here. Looks like all the drivers are on my screen and in the book, so that gives me the clear to go ahead, and looks like Grayson Underwood will be on the pole here tonight driving that number 01 late model at the South Boston Speedway. He will advance on over to the main event here tonight with the Fast 5 drivers heading on over to that portion part. Whenever we get those final results on our screen, we will get those posted over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to get you guys reminded here tonight about the keys of the race and what the guys are going to have to face in just a moment. 130 laps for the main event here tonight. It's going to be 15 laps per heat race. We'll go ahead and have the DJ kill the music just a tad bit here so you guys can hear us a little bit better. The keys of the race for tonight's heat and main event is going to be to stay out of trouble, and you do not want to get lapped here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. A 0.40 asphalt mile is going to bring in some action-packed racing. The traffic's going to be really heavy early. Be patient. Save those Hoosier tires. You're going to have to. You're going to have no other choice. So it looks like the qualifying results are in the book. Here's how they shook out through the drivers. And it looks like we're going to have to give it just a moment to load up. So while we do that, we will have all the drivers that are going to be in heat race number 1 load in on our screen currently at the moment. We'll pull up those starting grid. This will be the front 6 rows, starting 12 drivers on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Walker Matthews and Lane Woods will share the front row, followed by Zach Evans, Dylan Thomas, and Ty McIntosh and Corey Tesner. However, the case, though, will get you down on the racetrack. See if you can't get up and close and personal, get you meeting your favorite drivers. Excuse me, I apologize. Driving the number 04 here tonight, making his heat race pole debut, I guess we'll call it that. That's the 04 of Walker Matthews. On the front row on the outside of him, driving the number 92 ACR Racing late model, that's going to be Lane Woods. Starting in the second row, third place spot on the inside, that's the Me-Fine number 6 late model of Zach Evans. On the outside of him will be the number 03 of Dylan Thomas. Starting in the 5th place spot here tonight, driving the black and orange late model, that's going to be the 5th place position of Ty McIntosh. Starting on the outside of him, driving the number 88 HendrickCars.com late model, the 6th place spot, the 888 of Corey Tetzner. Behind him will be the number 36 Triple S late model of Luca Torcott. On the outside of him will be the driver of the number 51 late model of Alan Hammerbeck. Driving the number 27 late model here tonight, starting in the 9th place position, that's going to be the number 27 of Adam Peeler. And on the outside of him will be the number 29 late model here tonight in the 10th place spot in heat race number 1, a stacked field of talent, Phil Bogdan. And rounding out the shotgun tail end of the field here tonight, not posting a qualifying lap, that's going to be the driver of the BC late model, the number 30 of Andrew Parnell. So everybody is locked and loaded inside of the race car. See if we can't get you on board with some of the drivers. You're on board with Corey Tetzner right here. He puts the car into gear. We're up and rolling inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division. Race number 2 for the dash. For the cash here tonight, Walker Matthews will be on the pole. Lane Woods will be to the outside of him. Looks like Andrew Parnell having a little bit of engine trouble getting it fired off here. So what's going to be 15 laps here for heat race number 1. There'll be another one right after this, so there'll be 2 LCQ heat races. The Fast 5 drivers advance to the main event on time. Here are the results. Grayson Underwood, Chase Johnson, Ace Throckmorton, Declan Willis, and Patrick McPeak will be the Fast 5 drivers here tonight. Everybody else below them is heading on over to a LCQ heat races and ready to go green. This time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, if you're loving what you're seeing, make sure you slap that like button and press that follow button. You're not going to miss a damn thing here. It's going to be an action-packed race. You're only setting the field from position 6th on back. There's no need to absolutely demolish the competition in front of you. Peter the base car should hang that big fat left on the pit lane this time around, and you should have yourself a heat race getting ready to go green here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Green flag is in the air. Lane Matthews slips on it. You have yourself a virtual race at the South Boston Speedway. Diving down into turns 3 and 4, Lane Woods makes to make the move over for the race lead of Walker Matthews, but he's not able to get it. Walker Matthews will lead lap number 1 here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Heading down into turns 1 and 2. Zach Evans will grab the 3rd place spot, followed by Dylan Thomas, Corey Tetzner, Ty McIntosh in the battle down the back straightaway down into turns 3 and 4. Tetzner will pull door to door. McIntosh, Tetzner's a big Lewis on the outside, and that number 88 machine is going to have to get it up and rolling though here. These are going to be critical spots here early. Dash for cash going on here tonight at the South Boston Speedway here in Virginia. Got a ton of rednecks tuning out here to look to find some of the best racing on the iRacing platform, and you found it right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division. Here's the number 38 of Alan Hammerbeck. He will work his way up here from the 7th place position. Was back fast 2 weeks ago at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. He's got HendrickCars.com. He's in one of those Chase Johnson Racing late models. Down on the bottom side of the left rear quarter panel of Corey Tetzner, but not able to make that shape. Looking up here for the battle for the race lead with 11. Going to be 10 laps to go this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's the battle for the race lead. Contacts made to Walker Matthews from the front bumper of the number 92 of Lane Woods, and moving right up out of the groove and shove him out of the racetrack. Holy cow, things get physical here in heat race number 1. Zach Evans will move up to the 2nd place spot, followed by Walker Matthews. Everybody knows the tail, single file here at the South Boston Speedway early. Ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't catch the keys of the race earlier, it's going to say be patient. That's when we have 20 plus cars on the track. We only got 12 here now, and guys are beating and banging early. Andrew Parnell battling a little bit of some handling conditions here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This Bates Custom number 3 late model. Just trying to get through the heat race right here and get himself to the back half of the field and walk into tonight's main event. He's in also one of those Chase Johnson Racing late model 6. Chase Johnson Racing late models on the track here tonight, followed by 5 Boardwick late models. So tons of teams putting in work over the all season, coming to join season 4 of the late model stock program tour here inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series. Luca Torcott, the Canadian, working all over the back bumper of Alan Hammerbeck in this number 38 late model. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack, Team Canada has brought a bad fast late model to the South Boston Speedway. The 36 working to the inside of Alan Hammerbeck. However, though, Walker Thomas not going to be happy with the way that he was raced right there moments ago, about 4 or 5 laps ago. from the current race leader in Lane Woods. Lane Woods was pushed around last night on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, riding on board the number 04 of Walker Matthews. He is absolutely fuming underneath that helmet, you got to imagine. What's going to be 3 laps remaining this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Walker Matthews gets punted from the race lead after leading 6 laps here tonight. Still looking for a team to sign on the 04 driver if they work down the back straightaway, diving down into turns 3 and 4. Here comes Adam Peeler trying to take it easy here. He wants to have a late model to take to tonight's main event, knowing that everybody will advance out of tonight's heat race. It's been a clean one here so far. A little bit of contact early. White flag next time around for the Lane Woods, number 92, ACR Racing late model. He's looking for his first heat race win here on the year. He'll take it down into turns 1 and 2. White flag is in the air, presented by AFL Global.com. Zach Evans will have one more shot on the back bumper of Lane Woods, trailing down the back straightaway, down into turns 3 and 4. Checker flag will be in the air this time around for the heat race. Lane Woods will win it. Zach Evans will take the runner-up spot here tonight. Lane Woods will win the LCQ heat race tonight at the South Boston Speedway for ACR Racing after making a little bit of contact there, booting and scooting his way to the front. What a race, folks. That was only 15 laps to start off tonight's event. Could you imagine only what else is in store for us here in just a moment? We've got about, looks like going to be 10 or 11 more drivers rounding out the field for what's going to be heat race number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, slap that like button and press that follow button. An epic finish there to heat race number 1, and once we get those results posted over to our screen, we will have them up for you. There they are, heat race 1 results. Lane Woods, Zach Evans, Walker Matthews, Dylan Thomas, Ty McIntosh, the top 5, Corey Tessner, Alan Hammerbay, Luca Torcott, Phil Bogdan, Adam Peeler, Andrew Parnell will round out heat race number 1. We're still waiting on a couple more drivers to load in the field here for heat race number 2. We'll pull up the grid. The starting 11 spots here for the heat race will be the front 5 rows. And we'll all start it off with the winner last night in the Wheeling Modified Dash for Cash at the Linear Speedway, driver the number 40, Michael Johnson. On the outside of him, driving the number 24 Busch Light Golf late model, that's James Fountain. And starting in the second row, third place spot, driving the number 99, that's Dakota Pignataro. On the outside of him, driving the Daniel, number 2, ACR Racing late model, that's Trace Daniel. Driving the Lowe's, number 48 late model here tonight, that's Aaron Evans. And shaking out that Triple Deuce Slim Jim late model, that's the O Machine, the Maverick, Chris 90. And driving the 00 late model here tonight from Middletown, New Jersey, Mike Doyle. And breaking news from the garage area, will drop full-time for John Michael Bryant, sticking out in the number 31 late model here tonight from Spartanburg, South Carolina. That's Grimmy Brandon McAbee. And rounding out the final spot here in heat race number 2 will be the number 9 of Nate Hall. Chris Schaffner will start from the pits here. Green flag will fly this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for heat race number 2, led by Michael Johnson and his number 40 late model. James Fountain will be the guy to the outside of him here. Things are getting ready to get down, dirty, and wicked. You seen what heat race 1 had in store for us? What does heat race 2 have? Green flag is in the air here in South Boston. Trace Daniels slices down to the bottom side of the racetrack quick and early. He's looking to make a move for the race lead. These guys knowing and seeing what they've seen up in the tower booth, watching down on the heat race number 1, knowing that passing is going to be limited here tonight. The number 31 Maccabee Auto Services late model works down on the bottom side of the racetrack with the triple deuce of Chris 90. Trace Daniel rounds out the 3rd place spot. Fountain will shake himself for the 2nd place position, but it'll be all Michael Johnson heading across the line. He'll lead lap number 2 here tonight in heat race number 2. Here comes the Golf late model. James Fountain battles behind him. You see Dakota Pignataro get shook up out of line there. And that number 99 black and gold late model, he'll look to rake his way to the front of the pack. He is a 3-time Dash for Cash late model stock heat race winner from New Bern. Dakota Pignataro's got some speed in it. Does he got a new sense of style here to try to take himself to victory lane? Brandon McAbee will work back here from the 7th place spot. Mike Doyle with a beautiful 00 late model here tonight. He's got that ChatGPT 00 on it. Can't fool me, folks. Mike Doyle back here in the 6th place position on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll look to right to make his way up to the front of the pack. Chris 90 moving and grooving here, trying to find a way around the number 31 of Brandon McAbee, riding on board the triple deuce of the Maverick. Chris Knighty had an epic race 2 weeks ago when we kicked off the season at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Definitely kept this Slim Jim late model out of trouble. He's looking nice so far for a payout. If the playoffs, I should say the payout should end today. Right now, though, he's looking for a position around the 31 of the McAbee Auto Services of Brandon McAbee. Big time loose, though, for the triple deuce. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll pull up tonight's drone cam for the first time, trying to debut this. Took me a while to get this together. What a shot here on the South Boston Speedway. Battling for the race lead. Watching on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's drone cam. Trace Daniel, Dakota Pignataro in the 3rd and 4th place spot. Followed by the 1st and 2nd place spot of James Fountain. These guys not giving each other an inch here tonight. No bumper will be spared. In the meantime, guys are lagging in and out, battling internet connection issues. Looking at the sky cam over here in the water tower off of turn 2. Dakota Pignataro losing touch to the back bumper of the number 2 of Trace Daniel. It'll be Fountain trying to make a move with 5 laps to go this time around. Does he have anything inside of this 24? He'll look to the left rear quarter panel of the 40 machine of Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson has 1 late model stock win to his belt at the North Wilkesboro Speedway in season 2. And he's got a couple heat race wins, but he does not have what he has here tonight. If he could pull off the heat race win at the South Boston Speedway, what will be 4 laps remaining this time around. Fountain looking to the inside of the number 40. James Fountain trying to keep it clean, unlike Lane Woods, to that back bumper. Then heat race number 1, Fountain, though, will change his lineup just a tad bit, trying to make everything work inside of this number 24 machine. They brought him a bad fast machine. Contact's made down here in the corner. Fountain trying to hold on to his 24 late model. Battle off turn 2 and down the back straightaway with 3 laps to go. Johnson's going to look back to the inside. More contacts being made. A little bit of a fender up there from Johnson. 2 laps to go here in the Dash for Cash. Race number 2, LCQ heat race. The number 24 of James Fountain looking for his 4th LCQ heat race win inside of the late model stock division. His first one on the year. Battle off of turn 4. White flag is in the air, presented by AFLGlobal.com. Michael Johnson will have 1 more opportunity at the back bumper of the number 24. Fountain will slap the outside safer barrier. Down into turn 3 and 4. Johnson will get the gas down, but it's going to be all James Fountain at the line. He'll win the LCQ heat race. James Fountain with an epic move there in the closing laps. Barely able to snub out the win from Greenville, South Carolina. He'll take that one, add the bonus points to his total score. 2 heat races, 2 absolute barn burners. These guys are going at it here tonight, and it is absolutely showing. Knowing that the money is on the line, you have to put the bumper to guys. This is the results from heat race number 2. James Fountain, the winner, followed up by Michael Johnson in the ACR Racing late model of Trace Daniel. M&D's Motorsports Dakota Pignataro. Aaron Evans in M&D Motorsports rounds up another late model there in the 6th place position, followed by 81XI Racing's Chris Knighty in the triple deuce. Brendan McAbee will score an 8th place finish, followed by Nate Hall, Chris Schaffner, and Neil Rutt III. So the heat races are in full effect and locked away in the book. Things are getting ready to get absolutely wicked here tonight. And while I am thinking about it, we will go ahead and show us a few of our sponsors here tonight, presented to you by the Home Run Cafe. Check them out on Facebook at the Home Run Cafe in Greer, South Carolina, for all of your fresh food, tea refresher, and family-owned business needs. I got a feeling after watching some of those heat races, some of the drivers might need to call McAbee Auto Services, LLC, for all of their preventative maintenance, brake services, suspension repairs, and transmission needs. Custom installs included, and much more. Call today for a free estimate, and thank you for considering McAbee's Auto Services. Contact them today, 864-256-1346. Been out here at the South Boston Speedway before. You know it's kind of bumpy. It needs a little bit of a repave. We got our friends over at CK Parking Lot Maintenance, 402-610-0691 on the board here for you for all your line striping, seal coating, repairs, and crack joint needs, located in Lincoln, Nebraska. So get you back down here on the main broadcast cam. Looks like the warm-up session is getting ready to come to an end. The warm-up session is provided to you by Maynard Motors. However, these guys, it gives these guys an opportunity to not only lock in the track for a couple more minutes, but take in the changes on the weather, the format, all that kind of great goodness, and have one more talk with the admin about the track state coming into tonight's event. We'll get you pulled up here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel with the weather report live here. 70 degrees from the South Boston Speedway with a 9-mile-per-hour wind. Partly cloudy is what it will be in the air. And ladies and gentlemen, we ask you guys to rise and stand as you're able for the national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may now be seated in your seats. We got the cars on track for the Dash for Cash Late Model Stock Division race number 2, getting ready to kick off here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. This is your starting lineup, the starting 6 rows and 12 drivers getting ready to kick off the St. Patrick's Day Showdown live here at South Boston Speedway. The lights on top of the base car will be cut off this next time around, and the drivers will be cut loose, ready for some action-packed racing. This should give us a quick second to pull up tonight's keys of the race. We're going to have to be quick with it. 130 laps. Stay out of trouble, especially if you were in trouble 2 weeks ago at Wilkesboro. Do not get lapped early. 27 cars on the track here tonight. Be patient and save those tires. You're going to need them in the end. 130 laps, no sets in the pits. Grayson Underwood, Chase Johnson, the 3-time champion on the front row. Green flag coming your way in just a moment. Who's going to win race number 2 of the Dash for Cash live here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel? Grayson Underwood has it on the green light. Green flag is in the air. You have yourself a virtual race at South Boston. Oh, trouble off turn 2 immediately back there on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's Chris Knighty, Bill Bogdan backwards as well. We're already underneath the caution flag. I guess the height was so real that the guys couldn't wait to get it on the replay cam. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay and take a look and see exactly what happened here to the Maverick of Chris Knighty. He'll be the guy that is backwards here on our Booty Scoot Racing channel inside of his 81 XI Racing late model stock. Restart here. Green flag was in the air almost immediately for Chris Knighty down here in the turns 1 and 2. Looks like he got a little bit of a bump there from the number 29. Sent both of these late models spinning around off of turn 2, but it looks like they were no damage given to either one of these. We'll back that ass up one more time, see if we can't ride out the front nose of the number triple deuce of Chris Knighty here on the restart. And that'll leave both of these guys parked off turn 2 like protesters here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, but it'll get us back here to the main broadcast cam where we will re-rank the guys. These guys will have to file up behind the pace cars. It's going to be a long race here tonight. 27 cars on the field, around a 0.40 asphalt mile, almost a half mile asphalt I'm all over the place here. So threaded and amped and ready to go for the South Boston Speedway St. Patrick's Showdown. Here for race number 2 for the Dash for the Cash, that I almost forgot that these guys could even turn it around and the caution flag could be thrown. Coming across my screen here, here's the number 31 of Brandon McAbee, developing from the garage. John Michael Bryant will sign on, a.k.a. Grimmy. Brandon McAbee, a artist from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Must have seen what he did 2 weeks ago in Corey Tesner's Xfinity car. Brandon McAbee will shake out the 20th place spot. He will be chartered for J Money Motorsports here, driving the number 31 late model. Now to try to work his way up through the field here in his first late model stock appearance inside of the Dash for Cash series. So looks like going to be the 01 of Grayson Underwood. Ace Throckmorton to the outside. That'll be our front row. Green flag is in the air whenever they want it. Looks like we will get the call off the caution there. We will take at least one more lap. We got a couple guys back here trailing far on back, so we will give it just a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Clean up over there off of turn 2 where Chris Knighty and Phil Bogdan had made contact early in tonight's events. We got 2 of them turned around here on the front straightaway. That is the number 10 of Ty McIntosh. It looks like going to be Chris Knighty. So as these guys continue to try to figure it out here, folks, we will be back in just a moment here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Alright, welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Looks like we have the track cleared off here. Looks like we are getting ready to go racing here in just a moment. The pace car is pulled itself back onto pit lane. Ace Throckmorton on the front row with Grayson Underwood. Grayson Underwood being moved up to the front half of the pack. We'll wave everybody around to catch the pace car. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of your first I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division races. You've never seen what we did here before. 2 weeks ago, we took on the North Wilkesboro Speedway, seeing Chase Johnson, the 3-time champion, pick up the first win of the regular season. These guys will continue to battle out all year long, trying for a position to finish in the top 10 points, top 10 drivers in points, which will pay out to the drivers at the end of the year. So looks like the lights will go off this next time around, hearing it over the radio. These guys are re-racked and reloaded. A couple of confusions there from the drivers trying to pick and choose which appropriate lanes that they needed to be in. However, though, if we can get some green flag action here tonight, I can almost guarantee you some of the most best racing you've seen on the platform ever. Lights will be off on top of the pace car this time around. Put you over here in the turn 3 fan cam. That guy down there has had way too many Budweisers. Looking at what 20, 30, maybe $40 of short track racing if you buy a ticket to watch the I-85 Asphalt Series could get you. The pace car will hang the left down on the pit lane this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, led by Grayson Underwood, Ace Throckmorton, Chase Johnson, and going to be Declan Willis in that second row. We'll take one more lap around the South Boston Speedway, but Freddie the Flagman has had enough. He's got the flag held straight up and down, indicating to us that this will be the one to go racing. A little bit of splitter damage there to the number 38 of Alan Hammerbeck. He'll have to try to get that one patched up here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Grayson Underwood, the race leader, coming through what's going to be the Geico restart zone. The pace car will finally hang the left down on the pit lane. Green flag is in the air from Freddie the Flagman. It'll be all on Grayson Underwood in the restart zone. We're back racing here in South Boston. Green flag back in the air here. 13 laps completed out of the schedule. 1/3. Still got over well over 100 laps remaining here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. The sun is slowly emerging behind the Virginia mountains, and the lights will come on any moment. James Fallon looking to make a move there early in that number 24 machine around the three-time champion of Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson's lost 4 positions here early on that restart. Not entirely sure what's going on with that number 97 machine as these two battle it out side by side. The two Chase Johnson Racing late models going door to door trying to make something shake. Here's Zach Evans. Straight for that outside safer barrier. That number 6 Meat Fine late model. He'll have to try to get this one back down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Dylan Thomas will work to the right side of the number 99 of what's going to be Dakota Pignataro. Nobody going to spare each other an inch here on the restart. Riding out the front nose of the number 24, 6th place car of James Fallon. He's done moved up 2 spots here on that restart. He's got a bad, fast late model on the restart. But Declan Willis is looking for the race lead here around Ace Throckmorton here on the restart. 17 laps complete at the South Boston Speedway. Look at this battle going on right here. Declan Willis will overdrive turn 3 and 4, clear himself for the race lead. Lane Woods leaning all over the left rear quarter panel of the number 72 machine of Ace Throckmorton. Side by side off of turn 2, heading down the back straightaway. The South Boston Speedway doesn't get any more beautiful than this, folks. 26 of the best. 2 abreast going side by side now, single file. Maybe trying to pick off some laps finally here on the long green flag run. This number 2 machine of Trace Daniels really starting to go backwards. He's got to finish the spot here and get in line. It doesn't matter about the guys and where they fill out on the bottom end or the top or the middle behind you. Worry to run about your race only. Big time loose right there for the number 04 of Walker Matthews. Walker Matthews will have to try to make something shake here off the exit of turn 3 and 4 as they battle back around here, trying to make something shake. But here comes Brandon McAbee. He'll go side to side there with Corey Tesner, Alan Hammerbeck. These 3 boys battling nose to tail. This will be the battle for the 15th, 16th, and 17th place position. Mike Doyle up here battling door to door with the number 36 of the Canadian of Luca Torcott. Luca Torcott trying to make something shake. He's down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Mike Doyle will give up the position there. Brandon McAbee with the shot to the back of Alan Hammerbeck. Around goes Corey Tesner to the pit wall, and the caution flag fly. Corey Tesner goes hard into the inside sand barrier there. Looks like maybe a little bit of damage on the splitter on the front nose, but the left rear might have a little bit of a dent here. We'll back that ass up on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the instant replay and take a look and see exactly what happened to Tesner in this number 8800cars.com late model. Tesner just gets tagged. I want to make sure I get the driver correct. That is Andrew Parnell in that number 3 machine that got into the back end of Corey Tesner there. See if we can't get a better angle. Not sure, maybe if Andrew Parnell maybe just misjudged it right there a tad bit, got into the corner a little bit harder on the gas than he expected, and bam, Corey Tesner goes hard into that inside sand barrier. But it didn't look like it damaged the car much, if any. We'll put it back here on the main broadcast cam floating high above the sky. Corey Tesner involved in the accident there. He will, looks like, pull it down on the pit lane and back out on the racetrack as he will wave around here to get his lap back. So we'll see how things shake out here in just a moment. Racking out the second caution flag here tonight for the St. Patrick's Day Showdown live at the South Boston Speedway. South Boston Speedway in real life is in full effect this weekend with the Wheeler Modified Tour. Make sure you go check that out on Flow Racing. Great run last night for the number 40 of Michael Johnson inside of the Wheeling Modified Division. For the Wheeling Modified Division Stacks for Cash, I shall say. They're also participating in a entry fee payout in that league as well. Michael Johnson scored his first win in the Wheeling Modified Division last night. So setting him well for the point standings in the coming weeks inside of that division. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the restart zone, it'll be Declan Willis, Lane Woods, 2 ACR Racing late models on the front row battling here on the restart. Slowly but surely, we could almost guess this one. Here comes the number 61 of Patrick McPeak. The orange and white and black Wheeling Modified was fast last night. Looks like he's got a fast late model to go along with it. We're rounding out 28, going to be 29 laps this time around. closing up on the 100 laps to go mark tonight inside of the St. Patrick's Day Showdown on the Speedway Racing channel. Here comes that number 2 of Trace Daniel. He'll look to try to make the move around the number 40 of Michael Johnson in front of him inside of that PSR Products number 40 late model, heading down to the bottom side of the racetrack. The battle up here, though. Here comes James Fountain. He'll pull door to door for what's going to be the 001 of Grayson Underwood. Grayson Underwood, though, trying to arc the corner as best as possible. James Fountain has to get up off the gas on the brake, and that'll check him up big time. Single file down the back straightaway, heading down into turn 3 and 4 live here at South Boston Speedway. South Boston Speedway, located here in South Boston, Virginia, has created legends within the NASCAR circuit like Jeff Burton, Ward Burton, and several other drivers in between, like Elliott Sadler, excuse me. Tonight, though, the drivers inside of the late model stock program division here on the I-85 Asphalt Series are trying to make a name for themselves. Look at the marbles really starting to come down on the bottom side of the racetrack. How will this affect the late models here tonight with the brand new iRacing update, where the oval refresh, where these guys are trying to make rubber buildup become a factor into the races when it's either official, hosted, unofficial, you name it, trying to make everything as realistic as possible here on the iRacing surface. Right now, though, it looks like all of these guys aren't battling any issues, if much any. However, though, Declan Willis has checked out in this number 100 late model over his teammate of Lane Woods. Lane Woods, though, not really underneath attack by Patrick McPeak. Patrick McPeak is getting what he wants there on that outside line. The number 61's got some speed in it. He'll roll to the outside line here, moving up to the second place position if he can clear himself over the number 92. Three-way battle for the race lead here at the South Boston Speedway. Patrick McPeak's looking for more into turn 4. Side by side for the race lead. Battle down into turn 3 and 4. Give McPeak the race lead. He'll lead that lap the last time around. Side by side with Declan Willis. Willis will have to give up the race lead as he heated up those tires early here. If it's not so, he's going to have to hold on to it here. Several more laps remaining. About 93, about 94 laps to go here on the Moody Scoot Racing channel. And it's going to be anybody's ballgame. Here comes the Maverick of Chris 90. Right behind him, the other Chris, that's Chris Schaffner. So it's the Chris and Chris show. These two guys battling it out for the 18th and 19th place position. Chris 90 worked down on the bottom side of this Slim Jim late model, picking off some green flag laps finally at the South Boston Speedway. Single files, how you love to see it. Dylan Thomas cutting some of the better lap times on the racetrack right now inside of this number 03 NR3 Designs late model, coming all the way from Denison, Texas, looking to make his name known inside of the late model stock program. Led a shit ton of laps at the LA Coliseum inside of the Wheeler Modified Division. Denison, Texas, Dylan Thomas trying his best here that he knows, running with the best group of late model stock drivers on the racing surface. You're riding on board with the number 957 of Chase Johnson. Chase Johnson from Greer, South Carolina, a 3-time back-to-back champion here inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series late model stock division. Known to get these late models cooking there on long runs, though. But however, Michael Johnson, Trace Daniel, the top 6 drivers have put a huge gap between them and James Fountain. And the next driver in line will be Chase Johnson, followed by Ace Throckmorton, Walker Matthews, and Luke Latour top the top 10 drivers. Well, folks, I think these guys are going to pick us off some green flag laps. I think it's only right we get you down on the racetrack for tonight's first I-85 Asphalt Series Fast and Live. Trouble off of turn 2. Chris Schaffner head on, and then we got one over on their lid. It's Adam Peeler. Holy shit, folks, down the back straightaway. Red flag is in the air. Adam Peeler's on his lid. Ty McIntosh is involved in the accident. Chris Schaffner's involved in the accident. Nate Hall, number 18, is swept up here. Trouble off of turn 2. And some sledgehammer shots. We got one backwards. Red flag is in the air. We will back that ass up. A huge wreck here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel has led to several guys over on top of their lid. It all started with the number 22 of Chris Schaffner here on our Fast and Loud. He headed right into the turn 2 cam. There was nothing we could do about it, but turn it around there. This is what we see. Got turned around by Andrew Parnell, shot into the outside wall. Parking lot here on the middle side of the racetrack, and it's Adam Peeler upside down when it's all said and done with. Ty McIntosh involved in the accident, and Nate Hall in the accident as well. We'll back it up one more time. We will ride out the front windshield of Andrew Parnell and see exactly what happened to him. Andrew Parnell driving one of these Chase Johnson Racing late models, just gets on the inside of the number 22 right there. Didn't mean to tap him, but he definitely got him more than he anticipated. Adam Peeler caught up in the accident, and he's up and over on his lid. So you know how we are, folks. We love some crazy shit on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Watch this wild ride inside of the number 27 of Adam Peeler, trying to avoid all the mayhem here, and the next thing you know, he's up on his lid. Bang! Just like that, and you're upside down. What can you do about it? We'll be underneath the red flag here for what's going to be a while. We're back in just a moment on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and it looks like going to be Patrick McPeak with the race lead, followed by Declan Willis, Lane Woods, Grayson Underwood, Michael Johnson, the top 5 drivers. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Red flag has been lifted. We are back underneath the caution flag, and we have 1 lap to go until we get the green flag. Trouble off of turn 2 led Chris Schaffner head on with the sledgehammer shot to the outside. Safer barrier. Also followed up and collected was Ty McIntosh, Nate Hall in the number 18 late model, as well as Adam Peeler, who has climbed out of that number 27. Peeler's L27 late model, and he has declined comment from the medical team here, and he will take the trip to the infield care center. The pace car will hang the left down on the pit lane. Patrick McPeak in charge of the restart whenever he wants it. Green flag back in the air here at South Boston. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe seeing that scary wreck right there with one driver over on their lid in back-to-back races. 2 weeks ago, it was James Fountain in that 24. This week, it's the 27 in Adam Peeler. Maybe these guys need to get it together. Trouble off of turn 2 again. Michael Johnson collects the ACR racing, and there's a parking lot off turn 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe not. 12 cars involved off the exit of turn 2. Zach Evans involved, Lane Woods involved, Dylan Thomas, Pignataro, Chris Knighty, the 036, Mike Doyle involved as well. Pace car is out on the racetrack. We have way too much to dissect here. Holy cow. We'll back it up here. We'll give it our best shot. Not really entirely sure where I can even begin to evaluate and break this one down for us here. Don't even know where it started. It looks like Chris Knighty maybe back here. No, it all started up here with Michael Johnson inside of this machine. So we'll back it up one more time here and ride with Michael Johnson. He just gets all over the back bumper of that number 92 here, dragged up the racetrack by another ACR Racing late model, and next thing you know, it's about 20 cars stacked up here off turn 2. So we will find a way to ride with Dylan Thomas here. He looks like he maybe had one of the most scarier rides here out of this wreck. Riding on board the 030. Everybody on the brake, just not fast enough. Green flag, quickly back to yellow. Several guys working their way down on the pit lane, trying to get some of the damage fixed. There's the Remy machine, the number 31 of Brandon McAbee from Spartanburg, South Carolina. He will get that thing patched up here. You got to get back out on the racetrack. Every point definitely matters here inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series, I would imagine. We'll take an extra couple of laps here to get these guys nice and repaired and back out on the racetrack. This is really killer, though, for some of these guys, but guys like Phil Bogdan is smiling ear to ear inside of this race car, and you probably wonder, well, why is Phil Bogdan smiling when guys are flipping over on their lid. Well, Phil Bogdan's missed every single one of those wrecks up to this point. He has moved himself up 12 spots through tonight's event. Driver the number 29 late model here for NR3 Designs, or MND Motorsports. I shall be better precise here. Phil Bogdan working his way around here. He has moved up 12 spots. He's got the hard charger award in his back pocket if he can hold on to these spots. So as guys continue to work on and off a pit lane here, trying to make shit come together here, whether you're putting duct tape on it, bare bond, trying to get a new front clip installed, whatever the case may be, these pit crews are absolutely ready for it. We'll give you one more weather report here. 70 degrees. It's cooled off since the sun has went down, went behind the Virginia mountains. It's got a little bit colder. I'm trying to figure out how this will exactly impact the race and these late models, as well as these Hoosier tires. 7-mile-per-hour winds has just dropped down to 4-mile-per-hour winds coming in from the northeastern part of the racetrack, and things will get ready to be refreshed here. Here's the driver, the number 38 of Alan Hammerbeck. He was involved in the accident earlier today, but it looks like he has scraped his way back out on the racetrack. They've worked on this number 38 late model, and Alan Hammerbeck will work his way and restart what's going to be, looks like, in the 9th place position when we get to double file and back to the restart zone. Red Bull on board this number 38 late model this week. Driver the number 99 of Dakota Pignataro talking back and forth with his spotter, listening in there. Dakota Pignataro says, I understand I'm hard to pass at times, but these guys have to be patient here tonight. I don't want to lose my chance at the prize money here in week 2 based on some hats. So Dakota Pignataro appears to not be happy with the way that the rest of the field is racing. They're all going to have to patch up and catch up quickly here. It looks like Peter the base car will hang that left down on the pit lane. Green flag will fly in the air. We're back racing here in South Boston. Down into turn 3 and 4. Patrick McPeak has the race lead. Declan Willis in the 2nd place spot. Here comes James Fountain in that 3rd place position. Door banging there with the 0-1 of Grayson Underwood. It's an older guy versus a younger guy. How will the age difference between these two drivers, maturity, race IQ, you name it, who is going to put the emotions aside here, knowing that the pay window doesn't open up to a while from now? Climbing the banking down the back straightaway, heading down into turn 3 and 4. Heading back to turns 1 and 2, it's McPeak, Willis, Fountain, Underwood, Throckmorton, Daniel, Johnson, Hemmerbeck, and Pignataro, followed by Michael Johnson in his top 10 spot. Several lap traffic guys are in the picture here, trying to make something shake. We'll see if we can't add a few more drivers to this bottom block here on our ticker for you folks, so you can kind of see where everybody's shaking out here. Maybe that'll help you out for us to you. The ACR Racing late model Grayson Underwood works his way back here to the 4th place position. Got the fall in line behind the number 24 of James Fountain. These two guys continue to battle out door to door here, not giving each other an inch. As would you kind of expect here when the money's on the line 2 weeks from now, though. We will head to the 5 Flag Speedway. Lane Woods, big time damage. He's missing the front bumper to this machine, and the caution flag is out here. Lane Woods will bring it down on the pit lane, and he will look like be done for here tonight. Caution flag is in the air. Looks like Lane Woods is hit the outside safer barrier, and he's hit it hard. So at the back, this adds up a little bit more. This looks like this took place way before we got down here on the pit lane. Lane Woods already had damage to his to his late model. Did it start back here? Yes, he has the front clip there. Looks like he just gets hit on this outside safer barrier there. The front clip comes off of it. He's real slow on the racetrack, and we got debris on the field for the number 92. The caution flag comes out. So Lane Woods' unfortunate week of I-85 Asphalt Series races continues here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. Looks like he'll have to retire from tonight's event. He'll unstrap from that race car and climb out from it. The number 24, James Fountain, working his way up through the field. So is Declan Willis. Patrick McPeak's really been the topic here to talk about so far. Moved his way up here to the front of the field. He's led 33 laps here tonight so far. We work our 5th caution flag here tonight in the number 61. Declan Willis made a move there early for the race lead on the opening laps. He got himself up to the 18 laps lead mark, and then he got moved out of the race lead, just straight up out drove there. And that number 100, Grayson Underwood, will work his way back up here to the front of the field. He's in also one of those Jersey Mike's ACR Racing late models, leading 13 laps so far up to this point here tonight. Behind him is the Trace Daniel machine for ACR Racing. So 3 ACR Racing late models absolutely rounding out the top 5 machine. Here comes the 3-time champion Chase Johnson, trying to keep that nose clean. Don't look like he's done too much good at it. He's got a bent up front end here, but doesn't look like it seems to be affecting the aero portion parts of that number 957 late model. We'll see how things shake out here on this restart here. Guys are starting to fill in their positions slowly. It'll be Willis, Pete, Fallon, Underwood, the top 4 drivers coming through the Geico restart zone. We'll wave it off and take one more lap around the South Boston Speedway. Alan Hemmerbeck catching the back half of the field. He'll come down pit lane, trying to get a little bit more of that damage patched up on that number 38 HendrickCars.com green and white late model. Declan Willis on the outside, Patrick McPeak on the inside. We'll retry it this time around, side by side, double file. Coming to the restart zone, it'll be in the hands of the number 61 of Declan Willis whenever he gets to the white line. They're up, turn 4, green flag, back in the air here at South Boston. Coming off turn 4, heading back across the front straightaway, Patrick McPeak grabs the race lead, and he'll lead lap number, what's going to be 72 here tonight out of the schedule, 130. We're slowly approaching the 40 lap to go mark here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Lane Woods has climbed out of that number 92, and he will not be able to continue tonight's race. He will be retired from tonight's event here at the South Boston Speedway for the St. Patrick's Showdown. Here comes the number 48 of Aaron Evans down on the bottom side of the racetrack, scored in the 25th position here right now on our ticker screen, but that is A-OK. Aaron Evans knows that every point is going to be needed here on the long run at the end of the season. Crawfordsville, Indiana, stand up your driver, trying his best to work his way up through the field. Chris Schaffner trying to work his way in this 22 machine back up here into the front half of the field. He's 2 laps down. The number 22 got involved in the accident earlier, turned around by that number 3 machine in front of him, the Andrew Parnell, who scored 2 laps down as well. These 2 guys are battling for position. How do they elect to race each other when they get near each other? Chase Johnson trying to work around this number 2 of Trace Daniel, this ACR Racing late model, throwing a block after a block here at South Boston. Riding out the front nose of the 3-time champion of Chase Johnson. He's waiting on the gas there through turns 1 and 2. How does he get on the brake through 3 and 4? Rolls the throttle a little bit more through 3. Gets a better work off turn 4. How does he get the exit? He'll put the bumper to the back of the number 2 of Trace Daniel, move him up the racetrack, knock him out of the racing groove like Arrogant Steps YouTube channel out of the groove. The number 97 will pull the slide job over the number 92 and move up another spot here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Patrick McPeak leads him off turn 2, followed by Declan Willis, James Fountain, Grayson Underwood, and Chase Johnson. That'll be your top 5 drivers battling it out here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Trying to get our crash ticker to get off of Lane Woods, and on the racetrack, Aaron Evans side by side here with the number 36 of the Canadian of Luca Torcott, who battles door to door here through turns 1 and 2. Parnell up the racetrack trying to hold on to this number 3 late model, involved in an accident earlier tonight. Didn't mean to get into it, is what he said over the radio, but Andrew Parnell trying to clean it up here. Doing good so far. He's leading the group of these lap down drivers. Dylan Thomas just can't seem to come unglued and separated with this number 29 of Phil Bogdan. Look at this battle going on right here. Bogdan and that 29 upstairs in the attic. Dylan Thomas down low in the basement. The 29 machine of Phil Bogdan's moved up 13 spots so far here tonight since the drop of the green flag. Phil Bogdan looking for the extra points here for the hard charger award. He'll go ahead and clear himself around the nose of the number 03 of Dylan Thomas. Lap traffic slowly approaching the number 61 of Patrick McPeak. He'll make quick work of it. That's the number 18 of Nate Hall. Nate Hall will move up out of the groove. Declan Willis will get himself around the lap traffic here in just a moment. How does he elect to make it work? Does he try to make a pick or some kind of short to get some separation between him and the number 24, James Fountain? Nate Hall will take it way up the racetrack there. And it looks like caution flag is out on the racetrack. Caution's out on the racetrack, and whoa, looks like Phil Bogdan's going to be our victim here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's just a second here. We'll have to back that ass up here and take a look and see what happened to Phil Bogdan. We were just seeing him battling door to door there with Dylan Thomas. We'll throw up the instant replay cam and take a look. Dylan Thomas comes up off the bottom side of the racetrack, clips that left rear quarter panel of Phil Bogdan, ships him around passenger side door first into the inside safer barrier. What a shot there for Phil Bogdan. Will ride on board the number 29 as he gets tagged here in the left rear. A hard shot to the inside safer barrier for Phil Bogdan in this number 29 machine, but don't look like there's much damage, if any. We'll have to get this thing turned around here, and we'll see how things shake out here. We bring you back down on the main broadcast live cam here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live at the South Boston Speedway for race number 2 of the Dash for Cash. It's been one hell of a show here tonight in Virginia. Nobody is giving an inch here, and it's only race 2 of a 10-race schedule. Alan Hammerbeck will move up 8 spots from where he started. This 38 machine has been in several accidents here tonight. He is slowly patched and worked on the number 3800cars.com late model, and the Duncan, South Carolina driver will move his way up through the field here. Michael Johnson will be in the number 40 late model, and he's all over the marbles down on the bottom side of the racetrack, just picking up rubber on those tires. So that's not really a good thing for you folks. Again, we mentioned that earlier here tonight. The updated iRacing just came out with their brand new update. Looks like Lane Woods tried to come out of the pit area back out on the racetrack, but the car just wouldn't start. Wonder why. Patrick McPeak, James Fountain, Declan Willis going to be the top 3 drivers here when we get ready to take the green flag here in just a moment. Going to be about 30 laps remaining when it's all said and done. Who will be the driver working it in victory lane here tonight in Virginia? Hopefully we can find out this time around. Declan Willis will clean off the top lane there. You see the marbles rolling all over the track there. Several guys trying to clean off that top line, trying to get it a little bit more cleaner so they know that they can get out there as far as possible and try to get a great arc. Green flag will be in the air this time around for Declan Willis and Patrick McPeak here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Back racing at South Boston. Heading off a turn 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway, door to door. This might be Declan Willis' only opportunity. Parking lot, holy shit! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars involved. Zach Evans able to get down on the brake. Holy shit! Caution flag out immediately. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay. Take a look and see what happened here at the South Boston Speedway. It happened so quickly. Looked like it started back there with the number 18 of Nate Hall originally. So we will have to back that ass up one more time and take a look and see what happened. Looks like the number 036, the Canadian of Luca Torcott, jacks up the number 18 of Nate Hall, ships him hard on the inside safer barrier. And nowhere to go for Nate Hall. Looks like we can't ride out the front nose of that Canadian of Luca Torcott here, trying to make something shake at South Boston. Guys, getting aggressive here late in tonight's event has led to so many accidents in the past 15 to 20 laps. We started off tonight's event with about a 28-30 lap green flag run that has gone sour here tonight. The fans, however, though, have gotten their money's worth. Stand up, clap your hands, stump their feet if you're a fan of the number 61 of Patrick McPeak, making his late model stock name known here tonight at South Boston. He is out front here with the race lead, trying everything he knows possible to get himself up to the front. Patrick McPeak had a good friend of his pass away earlier this week. We talked to him last night in the Modified Division post-race interview show, so our thoughts and prayers go out to number 61 of Patrick Peak. Hopefully he can bring home the W for his fallen friend. So, looks like we'll get the wave around here. The driver's wheel that to be quick and back to the back half of the field. The lights will be back on top of the pace car. We'll wave them around and take at least one more lap around South Boston Speedway. Just took my hoodie off, folks, because it's getting hot in here, and maybe that could just be the 17 late model motors ripping and roaring on my screen right now. It could be my old ass PC burning up the fans, bringing up this action-packed racing. Look at the marbles down on pit lane from the drivers dropping all the rubber from the racetrack, and however the rubber jumping over the pit wall, whatever you want to call it. Really starting to become a factor here tonight. How does the handling become here in the closing laps of the St. Patrick's Showdown live here at South Boston? What will be 32 laps to go when we get back around to the green flag, checkered flag line, whatever you want to call it. Patrick McPeak has the race lead, followed by Declan Willis, Grayson Underwood, and Chase Johnson. James Fountain in that third place position, wanting a win here in the late model stock division. He's got every opportunity. Can he be patient enough? But Declan Willis needs the victory. He almost had one 2 weeks ago in Wilkesboro and had it taken away from him after getting taken out. Said he felt like he maybe had something for that number 97 of late model on your screen of Chase Johnson, who won the race 2 weeks ago. Right now, though, the Hard Charger Award has been broken up all over the field. Andrew Parnell, 2 laps down, still out on the racetrack, trying to stay out of trouble, getting every point possible, has moved up into the Hard Charger Award. He's up 11 spots from where he started here tonight. If you're a fan here of the number 3 late model, clap your hands, stomp your feet. He's up to the 15th place position from the 26th place spot on pure staying out on the racetrack after guys leave and go to the garage after being involved in accidents. But Fountain in jeopardy of losing another position here to Grayson Underwood. This is not what this 24 late model needs late. Riding on board with James Fountain, the number 24 late model 2 weeks ago, ended his race upside down on his lid. He started in the 7th place position here tonight, and he has worked his way up to the 4th place spot. One of these South Carolina drivers in the field out of about 7. How can he finish tonight's event? Grayson Underwood has sagged off of the front 2 drivers here, but he keeps pancaking the outside wall. If he would just be patient and save the tires, he may have a shot at it late with 26 laps to go. But Chase Johnson, the 3-time champion inside of the late model stock division, slowly emerges back from the back half of the field. He's moved up to the 4th place position around Ace Throckmorton. Can the number 97 go back-to-back here in Season 4 and make a statement here in the point standings, wanting to bring home another championship for the number 957, for the number 975 team? However, though, here comes Alan Hammerbeck. He's moved up another spot. He's up 9 positions. He will be now 3rd in contention. Trouble off of turn 4. Is Pignataro head on to the outside wall. Caution flag for the number 99 of Dakota Pignataro. Phil Bogdan looked like he got a little bit of a net code there. He never even touched the number 99. So we'll back it up here for the instant replay and take a look and see what happened to Dakota Pignataro, battling door-to-door here. Well, nose to tail, excuse me, with look like Daniel Trace in this number 2 late model. We'll see what happens here with Dakota. Contacts barely, maybe some net code or something, because look at this right here. When Phil Bogdan came in, there was a net code right there, major from Dakota Pignataro. Can only imagine that something like that could have happened here on iRacing's platform on their brand new update. We'll ride out the front nose of the wild side guy of Dakota Pignataro. No Moretto, a few cages, but never on purpose. I've never heard some contact, maybe Ow! That was so close right there. I'd have shit my britches if I was the number 99 of Dakota Pignataro. But he'll get it up and removing here. Slapped it hard into the outside wall. That's okay as well. Bring it back here on the main broadcast cam. Dakota Pignataro is still out on the racetrack. We forgot to switch that over to the replay. We apologize. So as long as you know what just happened, and that is A-okay with us, we are working our 8th caution flag here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. See if we can't bring up some kind of race recap up to this point. So I'm kind of curious of what we had. Yeah, 8 cautions for 44 caution laps out of 110 laps scored. So we've ran about 63, 64 laps, excuse me, underneath the green flag condition. We still got about 29 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot. Yeah, about 19 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The pay window will open up very, very soon. How do these drivers even begin to try to make something shake? Here comes the number 31 late model of Brandon McAbee for J Money Motorsports, filling in for John Michael Bryant. He's moved his way up here to the top 10. He's in the 9th place spot. Can he work his way up through the field? He'll have 20 laps to do it. Green flag back in the air here at South Boston. Nose to tail down into turns 1 and 2. Declan Willis is going to have to be patient. 18 laps is not a lot of laps here remaining at South Boston, but you never know what could happen in short track racing. Nose to tail contact made back there to Trace Daniel. Gets him up out of the groove. He's able to hold on to it though. Several guys blinking in and out, battling internet connection issues. Here comes the hammer. Alan Hammerbeck hammering his way up through the field, trying to get around the number 2 of Trace Daniel. He'll put the gas down off turn 4. Contacts made to Trace Daniel. He'll put him in the outside safer barrier. 15 laps to go here at South Boston. The pay window is officially open. It's anybody's ball game. The 72 of Ace Throckmorton, haven't talked much about him tonight. He's working his way up through the field currently in this number 72 late model. Triple S Throckmorton Racing trying everything they know possible to get their driver into victory lane. 14 laps to go this next time around. Still side by side back here. Brandon McAbee's got himself clear over the rest of the pack, but Zach Evans battles back down on the bottom side of the racetrack. This is the battle for the 9th place position. Brandon McAbee, Grimmy, trying to be the Grim Reaper, collect some souls here. Late caution flag is out at the South Boston Speedway. Whoa, trouble at turn 2. Phil Bogdan gets ran over. Guys trying to get on their brakes. Phil Bogdan down here. He'll barely nip by the pit entrance right there. Caution flag is out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up and find out exactly what for. So as we look around here, we will find out who exactly was the victim here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Trace Daniels makes a huge move down there, and there's our victim. Looks like Zach Evans gets absolutely fried right there and turned around, so we'll back that ass up for the instant replay, and this should see exactly what we see. Whoa, it started up here with the 0-1 over on his lid and everybody getting on the brake. That was Grayson Underwood, so my apologies. We'll back it up one more time as we try to get you back down here on the main broadcast. Let's take a look. Got a little bit of help from Ace Throckmorton, send him around the Jersey Mike 0-1. Oh my freaking Lord. What a wreck right there. Everybody else trying to get on the brake. Brandon McAbee trying to get on the brake. Phil Bogdan trying to get on the brake as well. Just get collected into the accident there, ladies and gentlemen. 9th caution flag here tonight, riding out from behind Peter the pace car. Things are for sure going to get absolutely crazy here in the coming moments. Drivers have sagged off from behind the pace car trying to catch up. They will go double file. We will have somewhere between 7 and 8 laps to go when the green flag flies back into the air. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring up the point standings one more time, reminding you of how it finished 2 weeks ago. Chase Johnson, the 3-time champion, back-to-back-to-back, won the race at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. Danny Willis was right there in the mix in the battle as well. But tonight, we got a whole new front contender trying to get his name into victory lane. It's Patrick McPeak in the number 61 machine on the outside, Declan Willis. Ace Throckmorton in the third place spot with Chase Johnson in the fourth place position. Green flag will fly this time around here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Dash for Cash with 8 laps to go here in South Boston. Side by side for the race lead off the exit of turn 3 and 4. Contacts made from the number 100 to the 61 of Declan Willis. This could be the battle for the win here tonight at South Boston in the St. Patrick's Showdown. Live here on St. Patty's Day. All the fans were greeted to free green beer out of the fan zone. And now they're being treated to an epic finish. 6 laps to go here at South Boston. Side by side, the battle for the win here in the Dash for the Cash Late Model Stock Division. Ace Throckmorton looking for an opportunity to strike here. Late trouble off the front straightaway. There's James Bowen, passenger side door into the front straightaway fence. Parnell involved, Schaffner involved as well. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel for the instant replay. It was for James Fountain off the corner of our eye. Comes sliding off the exit of turn 4. Take a look. Just got clipped in the left rear by the number 38 of Alan Hammerbeck, and these guys, woo, fortunately enough to get down on the brake. Holy cow, that was close. See if we can't get up to a higher cam here. Get you slow down, slow motion, and yeah, definitely contact made there from Alan Hammerbeck to James Fallon on the inside. We'll see if we can't ride out that front nose of Alan Hammerbeck, the hammer, hammering his way up through the field, literally, no pun intended. James Fountain will go around here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, and caution flag will fly here, and we will slowly be approaching what could possibly be the overtime here if these guys cannot keep it together. When everything is said and done through the final wreck right there, hopefully these guys can get it up and going. The 31 of Brandon Maccabee, the Grim Reaper, collects souls, but Brandon Maccabee collects positions on the racetrack. Want to know why? The Hard Charger Award, up 14 spots from where he started. Brandon Maccabee working his way up through the field, staying out of all the trouble here tonight, trying to work his way up to the front. Can he score the bonus points and take them home here? Trying to march his way up through that Dash for the Cash. Driving for John Michael Bryant and J Money Motorsports. So the admin has had a talking with the entire field here about the possible overtime right around the corner and how these guys need to keep it together here, hoping for a clean finish. Patrick McPeak will be in control of the restart here with Danny Willis on the outside. Danny Willis looking for that first win here inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series late models. Patrick McPeak slams on it. We're back racing at South Boston with 2 laps to go. Green-white checkered here in South Boston. The battle off of turn 2. Down into turn 3 and 4, and the caution flag is out. We're headed to the overtime here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. We'll back that ass up and look out for the replay. Take a look and see what happened here. Not sure entirely where, who, what, when, or how this started. We'll take a look. Chris Schaffner and these boys turned around back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. We'll throw up another replay for you folks here. He's tagged in the left rear by the Bay Customs number 3 of Andrew Parnell. Turned around hard on the inside to take for barrier. Turn 2 has been a troubled spot here tonight. Riding out the tail end of the 22 of Chris Schaffner. He's tagged right there hard on the inside wall, trying to lock it down. So that'll put us here on the main broadcast cam and put us straight directly into the overtime. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be the perfect time and opportunity for me to allot you how this overtime will work here. It will be a green-white checker styled overtime. 2 attempts at it. However, when the green flag drops in the air here for attempt number 1 of the overtime, If the drivers come all the way back around and collect the white flag, which will be the final lap of the race, whatever flag next ends the race, whether that's the checkered flag or the caution. However, if these guys wreck down into turns 1, 2, maybe 3, or wreck before the leader gets to the white flag, we will re-wreck them one more time here tonight for the Dash for Cash late model stock division. If you want a chance, it's got to be right here. You got to keep it clean. Do not find yourself in the penalty box for something stupid here on the restart in the overtime. Live at South Boston, Dash for Cash race number 2 is in the overtime. Declan Willis, the race leader. Patrick McPeak to the outside. Green flag back in the air here at South Boston. Down into turns 1 and 2. Declan Willis takes the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll try to make a move around Patrick McPeak. Patrick McPeak will grab to the back bumper of the number 100 ACR Racing late model. White flags in the air presented by AFLglobal.com. Whoever comes back around to the checker flag will win the race. Contact's made from the 61 to Patrick McPeak. He'll move the 100 up the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll throw it down into the bottom of turn 3 and 4. Can he get back to the gas? Side by side across the line. Photo finish. Give it to Patrick McPeak. Woo! What a finish there, folks. Patrick McPeak. What a move to win it. Holy shit. Patrick McPeak moves the number 100 of Declan Willis cleanly for the win here at South Boston. And the crowd roar. What a finish there. Beating and banging all over the racetrack. Drivers mad. Cars are broken. And so are people's hearts. But Patrick McPeak wins it here at South Boston as the fireworks begin to explode in the background. What a finish there at the line, side by 3/100 of a second. Patrick McPeak inside of that race car lost one of his friends earlier this week, and you see the tears shedding out of the eyes of the number 61 driver of Patrick McPeak. He'll bring it around on the front straightaway, and he will burn it down for you fans. Patrick McPeak, a winner inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series. Phil Bogdan will stay on top of the racetrack as a safety team commits to the number 29. He will be evaluated here from our team. Patrick McPeak trying to get the race car pointed nice and forward towards the start-finish line. He'll burn it down. What a finish and a move from the number 61 of Patrick McPeak inside of this BRNZ Performance late model. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Booty Scoop Racing channel. You'll hear from all your favorite drivers, including the race winner, Patrick McPeak, here tonight at South Boston. Back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel before we get you down there on the main broadcast channel with the favorite drivers here tonight for the post-race interview shows. What a absolute thriller finish in the overtime. It only took one attempt, thank the Lord, but it was the number 61 of Patrick McPeak coming across the line first here tonight. He will take home the victory at the South Boston Speedway, and that was without an action-packed film event here tonight. We're still waiting on a couple more drivers to load in here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and as we do that, we will go ahead and we will pull into our broadcast channel, and we will wait on our pit reporter to give us the signal. I do want to go here and say, folks, if you have enjoyed what you've seen on your screen here tonight, make sure that you tune in 2 weeks from now at the Five Flags Speedway for what's going to be a action-packed event. If you love what you've seen tonight, Five Flags is guaranteed to put on an absolute thriller as our pit reporter Neil Rutt III pulls in to the Discord currently. Right now, we are with our pit reporter of Neil Rutt III. Neil, kind of walk us through what you've seen down there on the racetrack. It was absolutely a thriller finish.
Yeah, that finish was insane. A little bit of a net code there towards the end, but still that almost side-by-side photo finish, nose to the end, was what we were asking for with this series. We had it last night in the modifieds in the heat race, and we got it tonight in the feature, which was pretty amazing for these late models.
It dang sure is, and I'm not sure if our drivers are entirely ready
He's
for
out.
it.
We're ready.
Yeah, if they're ready to go, I'm ready to go as well. Neil, we'll get it back here on the main broadcast cam. We're showing the schedule here, and we will pull over here our race winner, driver of the number 61, Patrick McPeak. Pat, can I call you Patty? Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Big Patty, you got to talk me through that one. What a move to win it there in the closing laps of the overtime. Walk us through what happened out the front windshield of this number 61. We heard you talk to us last night of the modified about one of your friends passing away earlier this week. How special is this win here tonight?
Oh no, this one right here is the one for him, and for Mo Morris, this is the win for him. I'm absolutely happy with how this car was really fast. I couldn't believe I took the lead from the outside. I couldn't believe that because I just trusted my car, and it did its job, and so I'm very happy about this 61 Nelson Roofing Chevy. It actually doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, like we called it last night. I told you, with hopefully we get you a couple more spots. You got those couple spots. You parked it here in Victory Lane. The outside move obviously was amazing. Watching it back here on the broadcast, with the track rubbering up a lot, it kind of gave a multi-groove, racing for us, which gave you that opportunity to make the pass, and you trusted your instincts, and you got it done there.
Yeah, I just started seeing how the top two was really just checking up a lot, trying to save tire. But I was sitting there going, I can save tire and keeping my same pace. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to wing it. And if I wreck the field, I wreck the field. So I just took that outside, and it ended up working. So I'm just stoked right now, man. This is a long time coming for another win. This is my second win here. But this is my 5th win ever in my league racing career in iRacing for the past 2 years, and I'm just absolutely stoked. And especially, this is the biggest win I've ever had in the biggest field I've ever been in on iRacing.
Well, I want to go ahead and say, as the commentator here tonight, as the lead broadcaster, you had me on my feet there in the closing laps. I think you will be absolutely appalled watching over the broadcast when it gets posted over to YouTube later tonight, watching yourself make that move there in the end. An absolute thriller here tonight. Is there anybody you would like to thank on top of this number 61 as you head your way to victory lane with your team?
Yeah, I want to thank Nelson Roofing, Grizzly Steel Structures, Nelson's Designs. I want to thank SP Tools. I also want to thank RYR Engines, and also want to thank golly, I ain't got my notepad with me.
Well, you had a fan base tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, well,
they were blowing up TikTok, so
I threw my notepad and everything across the room.
Oh yeah, they definitely was ripping and roaring here tonight at South Boston for the 61. Flooded the TikTok chat for you. Got a ton of fans here. We're looking to get you back in victory lane 2 weeks at Five Flags. We appreciate you showing up here tonight. Great win.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting this on. And one last thing, I got to thank Team 9 Racing for helping me out.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you. That's Patrick McPeak, the winner here tonight of the St. Patrick's Showdown. Live here tonight, and what a coincidence there. Neil Patrick wins the St. Patty's Showdown. That's kind of funny. We'll bring in our second contestant. My fault, Neil, but we'll bring in our second contestant here, runner-up Declan Willis. Declan, please walk us through what's going through the front half of your brain right now after getting moved around there, a hometown driver here at South Boston, Virginia. You have the crowd on their feet thinking that the hometown driver may have had a chance at winning it here tonight. Just kind of walk us through what happened inside of this 100 late model.
Yeah, it's a pretty good race. Pretty close to that. Pretty close to South Boston Speedway here in real life. I had a good car, tried to save most of the time, and almost had it there. Had a check up big going into one on that last restart, caused Patrick to get to my bumper and washed up. Then I was getting a good run coming off, and we were drag racing to the line, just couldn't get there.
Well, we didn't get to see you last night, and I know you're chasing both these championships. Obviously, you get to show up points due to the fact of the storm here, so not really in bad shape. But tonight, you backed it up with a win on the first week, and then a second place. So you're looking in pretty good shape here. I know obviously you would have liked to get that win here at the hometown, but you can't be upset with a second place.
You can't win them all.
You definitely can't win them all. We appreciate you showing up here tonight, Declan Willis. You will continue to shine here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You put on a hell of a show. I'll tell you the same thing like I told Patrick McPeak. You two had me standing on my feet. An absolute thriller. Is there anybody you would like to thank on the front nose or the back half of this 100 late model team?
First, I'd like to thank ACR Racing Team for getting me up in this league and doing everything with me to save my tires and taking care of the car. And I'd like to thank Anderson Outdoor Solutions, Bose Hydraulics, Simmons Transport, PNP Speed Shop. That's about it.
And that'll be the driver of the number 100 machine here tonight of Declan Willis. We appreciate you showing up here tonight, Declan. We will bring in what's going to be third place driver here, Neil?
Yes, third place.
It's going to be the third place driver of Ace Throckmore, and I'll bring my Discord over on this screen so you guys can see just a little bit better. Ace, kind of walk us through your race here tonight. That 72 had some speed in it late there in the run. Did you think you had a shot at it there in the overtime?
So I think the car felt fine throughout the night. Safe tires, but at the end I feel like I could have got up to them, but kind of got scared with them battling like that, so backed out and just stayed in third, kept a good spot.
Yeah, you saved a lot of tire. We saw you kind of, fluctuate throughout the field. You were mid-pack, towards the front. A couple times you were out there, not in the back, but, you were filling out through the field. You clawed your way back up to P3. Got in a couple incidents, but hard racing, But you with a pretty good performance here tonight, I think with a couple more laps, I think if they kind of cleaned it back out, you probably could have been a little bit more into the fight, but you live and you learn, you move on to the following week.
Yeah, the car, I mean, if we had a few more extra laps, I probably could have got to Declan, moved him maybe, then got to Patrick, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. We will see you 2 weeks from now, Ace, at the Five Flags Speedway. It's going to be one hell of a show. Can't wait to see that number 72 out there. We appreciate you showing up tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Yes, sir. That is the driver of the number 72, third place runner-up here tonight of Ace Throckmore. And we will scoot on down here to what's going to be our fourth place finisher of Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson loads in here. Michael, kind of walk us through your race here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The win last night in the Wheeling Modified Tour Division. And then here you are tonight up in the podium spot in a P4 top 5. Kind of walk us through your race.
Yeah, we didn't have the greatest car tonight. It just felt like I was driving a boat all night. So I just try to save as much tires as I can for the end of the race. I did a little bit, and then I got an EOL for running in the back of someone on a checkup. I mean, it was deserved. So I had to race my way back up to the front, which caused me to use some of the tires. But at the end, I just didn't have enough to even contend for Patrick or Declan.
Yeah, obviously the EOL, like I said, close proximity. You're watching, tight battles, checkups happen here and there. You got into the back of someone, but you climbed your way back to the field. Strong P4, honestly. I really think the car looked pretty good. You had a great heat race. So pretty much, I think the EOL, might not have been the best thing, but I think the finishing result made up for it.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about the finishing result. I just think if I would have paid attention a little more and didn't get in the back of that one car and get the EOL, I could have saved a little more tires and had a chance for a second or third place car. I just don't think tonight was a winning car, but we did as much as we could to get a top 5, and I'm happy.
Hey, we appreciate you joining in here, Michael. Your win last night in the Whelen Modified Tour. Is there anybody you would like to thank on top of this number 40 late model?
Yeah, Save People's last night, PSR, Pacematic, and like I said, my father with the race engine. This is the first year he's doing a late model. He has never done anything with late models, so we got some tweaking to do and a lot of practice. I got to stop racing like this is a boat, and I don't know, just got to get more practice under my belt with these cars.
We appreciate you, Michael Johnson, the driver of the number 40 late model, brings home the 4th place position here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll scoot down here to the 5th place position, driver of the number 01 late model of Grayson Underwood. Grayson, as you roll in here into our interview booth, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. A P5 spot for your 001 machine, but tossed and turned and beat and banged was a topic for your team.
We all had a pretty good race. Could have been some mistakes on my part from that wreck, but we came back into it, had a top 5 finish.
Yeah, I mean, the beat and bang is going to happen. South Boston here, concrete, you're going to wear out the tires. For the most part, you bounce back and forth here. How were the tires there towards the end, because you were one that got caught up in a spin, caused them a little bit of damage. How were the tires there towards the end? Because you still look like you had plenty of speed there at the end, just maybe not enough laps.
I'm going to be honest, I had to turn completely to the left to just get it to stay straight, but as long as I held it on, I could have probably finished top 3 if something would have happened out of it, but I'm so grateful for what I got.
We're grateful for you showing up, putting on an awesome show. Another top 5 for the 001 here tonight of Grayson Underwood as we roll on here to what's going to be our 6th place finisher here tonight. Driver of the number 99 of Dakota Pignataro. Dakota, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at the South Boston Speedway. Seen you involved in a couple accidents there, but the black and gold late model left here relatively clean.
Yeah, I mean, I came out of the trailer, wasn't feeling too hot about tonight. Didn't get too much practice either. We're having some issues in the garage beforehand, but all things considered, I can't really complain about 6th place right there for a top 5, right place, right time, I guess.
Yeah, it looked like, you had an EOL called against you. Obviously, not your choice, but it looked like you had the front brake bias maybe dialed not correctly, and once you went into that corner, on a checkup from the 2 car in front of you, it spit sideways, you tapped the inside wall. But for the most part, the body looked pretty straight, so you were able to climb back up to the P6. Good job holding your head up high there and, climbing through the field and not getting upset with yourself for self-spinning. No one wants to be seen self-spinning on the broadcast.
Yeah, no, just one of those moments where you kind of look yourself in the mirror like, well, that just happened. But, like I said, just like you kind of summed it up pretty good. Keep my head there and not let it get to me too much.
And we appreciate you showing up here tonight, Dakota. Is there anybody you would like to thank on top of this number 99 late model team as you bring home a solid P6 finish?
Yeah, of course, as always, gotta give a shout out to the MND crew for showing up every race, and our 3 Designs for putting this scheme together for the new season. Boardwick Race Engines for everything they do, and last but not least, Monty Collection out of Surabaya, Indonesia. Keep us looking fresh in those suits.
We appreciate the international sponsors here on that 99 machine. That's the driver of the number 99 of Dakota Pignataro. He'll bring home the 6th place position here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It looks like we will fumble down here to our final post-race interview of the night. That'll be driver of the number 6 late model from Princeton, North Carolina of Zach Evans. Zach, How you doing? Oh, excuse
got
me,
Chris
Chris
Schaffner.
Schaffner. My fault.
we got
I
the
am
Fab
I
man.
am all over the place here.
He's all fired up. He's ready to
Chris
talk to you.
Schaffner. We got to talk us through this one, buddy. We've seen your name in red on our ticker more times than we expected to see here tonight. Kind of walk us through this 22 late model, as you didn't have quite the day that you were looking for here tonight. How you expect to race these guys 2 weeks from now at Five Flags?
Unfortunately, I'm going to miss Five Flags. We're not going to be able to make it out there. So it's going to be the race after that. But I got stuck behind a driver or around a driver all night that seems to be having issues holding the line. Just know there's going to be some rubbing and racing next time we're on the track with the number 3.
He's calling his shot here, Nick. We better get those body cams ready for when he comes back after Five Flags.
That's right. I'm from North Carolina. We're down here at the Madhouse, and we're bringing the Madhouse to him.
Chris Schaffner is not playing around here on the I-85 Asphalt Series, and we love it. Chris, while we have you here, is there anybody you would like to thank on this 22 team, especially if something happens and, you know, they may drop a sponsor or something, you know? Might as well go ahead and throw it out there now.
A good thing is our sponsor is backing us up on all of this. So Poncho's Customs, check them out for your 3D print needs and stickers and all that goodness. So, and number 3 is going to need some new stickers when it comes down to it.
Woo! Flares, tippers boiling over here at the South Boston Speedway. That's Chris Schaffner, driver, the number 22. He'll finish in the 14th place spot here tonight, up 8 spots from where he started. Now we will move down to the number 6 late model, 7th place finisher here from Princeton.
We got no one. He's out.
He's out. He doesn't even. He will walk off from the driver interview from our pit reporter.
As the owner of the MND team, I got the Hans device thrown at me. Zach Evans is ready for Five Flags.
Zach Evans denies the comment, says 2 words, 5 flags. And ladies and gentlemen, that looks like that'll do it for our pit report interviews, whatever Neil got. But we'll keep you in here as I'll bring up the final
I
result.
don't know, man. Schaffner got us all fired up over here. If there's some throwdowns about to happen here in the pit side. If not, they might happen over in the pool down in turn 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, these drivers are well communicated between one another in a Discord channel. Hopefully the tempers can be flared to a rest and talked over. However, though, we bring up the future results here tonight from the final race here tonight. I say we had about 26 cars in the field here tonight, and anyway, awesome action-packed race, and I'll list off the first 12 or so. You can do the rest.
Sounds good.
Winning the event here tonight at the South Boston Speedway, driver of the number 61 late model was the number 61 of Patrick McPeak. Finishing in the 2nd place position here tonight, driver of the number 100 from South Boston, Declan Willis. Driving in the 3rd place spot here tonight, the number 72 from South Boston, as well as the 4th place finisher of Michael Johnson and Ace Throckmorton. Grayson Underwood will score the top 5 position. He will be the final driver, rounded out in the top 5 positions with Dakota Pignataro scored in the 6th place spot here tonight, the number 99. Zach Evans will bring home a top 7 spot here tonight. Fuming mad at the end of the race here at South Boston. Had to get it calmed down, bring it back 2 weeks from now. Brandon McAbee filling in, Neil, for John Michael Bryant and J Money Motorsports inside of this number 31 late model. He'll win the Hard Charger Award here tonight, up 13 spots from where he started. Brandon McAbee climbing his way up the standings here early. Running out to the 9th place position will be the number 2 machine of Trace Daniels. Seen him involved in a ton of accidents here tonight. Hopefully he can get it fixed away as well with a couple of internet connection issues. Alan Hammerbeck, the Hammer, started moving his way up through the field late. Will finish 8 spots better than where he started. He'll finish in the 10th place position, followed by Phil Bogdan, who got turned around there, steaming mad. We've seen it coming out of his helmet earlier when he was backwards on the back straightaway 3 separate times here tonight. The 29 machine will bring home the 11th place position, with finally the 3-time champion Chase Johnson scoring the 12th place spot here tonight.
Coming out 13th, the 03, Dylan Thomas, with the 14th position of Chris Schaffner in the 22, throwing some shade at the 3. You fans here, you better want to watch the next one here. It's going to get a little interesting. P15 will be Nate Hall, with rounded up behind him in the 16th spot would be James Fountain. 17th, Ty McIntosh, and 18th, the victim, the 3-car, Andrew Perneal. Rounding out 19th, we got Aaron Evans, and finishing in the top 20 with the 20th spot is the 36 of Luca Torcott. 21st, we got Walker Matthews. 22nd, we got Mike Doyle. 23rd, Adam Peeler. And 24th of Chris Nadai.
And that will be the final drivers. Don't want to forget Lane Woods there as well, Neil. He had big-time damage to that late model. So the topic definitely tonight, Neil, was beating, banging, and tempers. The South Boston Speedway is 0.40 miles long in length. They're heading to 5 flags 2 weeks from now, Neil. What do you expect to see when we get there?
Definitely a more high-paced. We have these 2 tracks here, the shorter style. Then we're gonna go to 5 flags, which is mainly a super late model track. I mean, these Cars Tour late models get around pretty good. They're gonna kind of unsettle a lot going over the bumps, especially off of turn 2 and then down into turn 3. Drivers are gonna have to save that right front a lot more there due to the fact of the progressive banking and watching out for that exit turn 4 wall because it sneaks up on you pretty quick.
Well, Neil, I think that has been it, and that has been a hell of a week of I-85 Asphalt Series. What do you say on altogether the 2 days of race number 2 of the Dash for Cash in both series inside of the I-85?
Great week out of this. Great week on the broadcast. Great week by our race director. Congratulations to Patrick McPeak on his win tonight. With his lost friend here, which we put our condolences out for them and his family. I'm looking forward to 2 weeks from now. Obviously, I wish we could race next week because I'm all fired up and ready to get this thing going.
I'm ready to get it going as well, folks. That'll do it here tonight from the South Boston Speedway. The final results are up on your screen. We're headed to the 5 Flags Speedway 2 weeks from now. Make sure you guys are locked and loaded and subscribed over to the YouTube channel located in the top right portion of your screen. I got a flight to catch. I got to go to Bristol Motor Speedway Friday night for the Madness Racing League Home Run Cafe Total Nonstop Action Truck Series live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Playoff race number 1 for 200 laps. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. Can't wait to get there, Neil.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I'm going to have to hit the weight room to do 200 laps around Bristol. I'll be back in the seat here, taking a little step back in this series, but I can't wait to get up back to MND.
Yes, sir. This is my co-commentator, pit reporter, race admin, Neil Rutt III. He'll try his shot at the championship on Friday night. Make sure you check it out here at the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That'll do it here from South Boston, Virginia. A quiet track here. The lights are fully illuminated. We'll give you one more final weather report, as we always do. 68 degrees. Make sure you grab your Soda coat and a 7-mile-per-hour wind chill with a cloudy condition. Remember, folks, we are not responsible for your DUIs here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Drive at your own risk. We'll see you next week.